everyone, and good morning. Welcome to the AI session. If you don't understand me, don't worry. Siri doesn't understand me either. And we all know Siri is smarter than all of us, so it will be okay. I'm going to open up with the work we're doing right now with our partners at Air Canada, and then we're going to have additional discussion on the topic. We also have a roundtable, a little bit of plug for tomorrow, a roundtable discussion on AI with the same group of people. So it would be great to see you guys there as well. So before we start, since it's morning now, I need to make sure everybody's, filling up for the session. How many decisions you guys think humans make every day? How many of you think we make more than 1,000 decisions a day? How many of you think we make more than 5,000 decisions a day? How many people think we make more than 8,000 decisions a day? What about more than 10,000? Okay, some hands. So it's true. We make more than 10,000 decisions a day. We're living, breathing, decision-making machines. And that's extremely interesting. So let me go through some of the slides here. We make a lot of decisions daily. If you think about it, just related to food, we make almost 200 decisions a day. And as you can see, I don't make the right decisions, so we all have to learn. 13 seconds to make a decision when you have to choose between a brand. So not only we make a lot of decisions, but we make decisions extremely fast. And it seems like when we have more options to choose from, we make decisions even faster. So how is this possible? It's possible because we literally don't think about the decisions we make. The decisions we make are really on both levels, cognitive and subconscious. And all subconscious decisions and cognitive decisions are pretty much made using emotion. There has been a lot of recent research in neuroscience that actually proves that emotions are a very important component in decision making. Even when we make decisions that they are very logical decisions. So how is this all related to machine learning and AI? It is related because the example I'm going to walk through stands on the principle that in advertising, in our industry, we have 3 containers of emotion that we use to communicate with consumers. If you think about it, simplistically, we have image, we have sound, and we have language. So we established that we make a lot of decisions are subconscious, and we use emotion for all decisions, and we have 3 ways of orchestrating these containers of emotion to communicate with consumers. So what if we looked at one of them, which is naturally easier to organize and decompose, and we can orchestrate so that we can change the way we talk to people to represent specific emotions and see what the impact is and start connecting the emotion that is relevant to the individual for a product or service and the language we use. Language can be actually organized algorithmically. So you can look at not just the words that put together a meaning, but you also have the positioning of the language on the copy, you have the call to action, you have the description of the product, you have the emotion and the formatting. All those areas, if you think about it, they're components of an algorithm that we have the ability to structure so that we can test and see how consumers react. In essence, if we know everything about someone, we can structure language using all these elements. We can expose an individual and we can read the results. And if we can do that at scale, rapidly, we can start making the connection of this individual responds to this type of language and emotion and gets this type of an action. So in our case, what we did is we used experimental design and machine learning to basically construct language that represents specific emotions, expose it to consumers, read back the results, and then use the experimental design to automatically reconstruct with natural language processing new subject lines and new copy. So it's not people that create language, it's the machine that create perfectly grammatically correct language that then we go in and we execute for our copy. And we do that both on the body of the text and on the language that exists on the text. Chantal is going to talk about how we used an email campaign. It's about 25 million emails, so a lot of room to experiment, and how we tested and the results we got by letting the machine do the work of humans and using experimental design as the background of that. And the key is, once you experiment enough, you have enough data to start making these direct connections of an individual and the emotion that is responsible for the action, and knowing that allows you to create better copy and create better stories for people. So Chantal will go through the example.
Good morning. So we did this test on an email that we have every week that talks about some of the promotions, and the email is called Deals of the Week. So one campaign, we had 16 variations of the subject line, and we had 16 variations of the content. But overall, if you cut down all the different components of those subject lines or content, it gave us over 3,000 different possibilities that we were testing in one campaign. We looked at different emotions. The emotions that we picked were exclusivity, curiosity, safety, gratitude, and intimacy. And this is what the original email looks like on the right side. So I have a question for you. If you look at anxiety, which we translated into sitting down, or exclusivity, perfect for you, which one do you think was the best one? So maybe a show of hand for anxiety. Okay, so everybody thinks exclusivity was better? Okay. What happened was, after we ran the test with the 16 versions, the machine created 4 winning versions. And we saw, even with the 16th version, we really saw a big lift. So you can see, we did this test on 2,000 recipients. And the highest open rate was at 36% versus 24% for our, what we call business as usual, the original email. The emotion was the biggest driver of the uplift by, the emotion was the higher uplift at 72%. So now the reveal. Actually, the anxiety was the winning combination, and this was the primary emotion with sitting down. And the secondary emotion was gratitude. This gave us an uplift in the open rate of almost 50%. And just something to say is, we would never write this. The machine picked it, and the machine was right. It did so much better than what we were writing. We did the same for the body, looking at the similar emotions. In this case, the the best performing results were related to the, sorry, I have a, the best performing results was related to the click to action, and it gave us a huge uplift of over 200% in our click rate. What we understand is, although this is functional, the difference between Book Now and See Deals was probably that the Book Now was a bit too committal, but it did have a huge impact even on our, and you can see here, 87% of the results, the improved results, were related to the See Deals click to action. Sorry. And the one thing I want to say is this was a test on the entire audience, but really the future of this is really to derive emotions at the individual level. We don't want to keep optimizing for the masses. We want to optimize at the individual level and find really which emotion drives each person, because although some of those emotions like anxiety came out as the winning emotion, it's probably not the same for every individual. So the future is really to associate emotions with each person.
Thank you, Chantal. Yashi?